On your way to your seat, we're going to jump back in. Okay. Continuing in my tradition of introducing the introducers, I am going to introduce Susan Asayambi, who is our Senior Vice President of Teacher Preparation, Support, and Development. She was a 2001 Corps member. She was a 2003 Program Director from the Charter Institute in Philly. She was the VP of Institutes, and she was pursued a Master's in External Professional Experience, was a senior leader reporting to the CEO of the holding company. So as we all know, I'm sure many of you guys had a chance to meet Susan. She's bringing a lot of energy to one of the cutting-edge work that we're trying to do in Teach for America, which is supporting our teachers so well. So everyone, please welcome Susan.
Thanks, Landon, for those thoughtful words. Hello, everyone. It's good to see everyone. It's especially good knowing that being back almost a little over 2 months now, I remember a room where less than half, I believe, were managers of color. So it feels extremely inspiring just to see how much work has been done and the progression that we have in this work. I know we've been doing a lot of reflections of imagine what the world would look like when we are closer to achieving our mission. And when I reflect on that question, the thing that immediately pops to mind, when I imagine what that could look like, I imagine many more of our students of color, students both entering post-secondary schools, graduating successfully from those schools, and being able to give back in prominent ways to our society. And so speaking of that, I feel very honored to be able to introduce Dr. Beverly Tatum, whose work centers around a lot of the post-secondary education and beyond. So because I won't do the justice to all that she has given both to our organization, our community, our society, I'm going to share some words from her bio and then before introducing her, wrap up with some personal reflections I have of her work, even growing up in that era. So Dr. Beverly Tatum has served as president of Spelman College since 2002. Her tenure as a president has been marked by a period of great innovation and growth. Applications have increased more than 40% in the last 7 years, making Spelman College long recognized as the leading educator of women of African descent, now one of the most selective women's colleges in the United States. Building on Spelman's historic focus on leadership development, the Center for Leadership and Civic Engagement, called LEADS, was created in 2004, and its annual Women of Color Leadership Conference has become a national professional development resource for women of all backgrounds. The curriculum has expanded to include Chinese language instruction, and in 2008, the Gordon Zato Fund for International Initiatives was established with a gift of $17 million, increasing opportunities for international travel for students and faculty, as well as providing additional financial aid for international students. Overall, scholarship support for Spelman students has doubled since 2002, and opportunities for faculty research and development have expanded significantly. Through the Every Woman, Every Year initiative launched in 2006, alumni support of the annual fund has more than doubled and continues to rise. Campus improvements, including the award-winning renovation of 3 historic buildings, and campus expansion, including newly acquired space and the 2008 completion of New Green Residence Hall, increasing housing capacity on the campus by more than 25% and establishing the campus commitment to environmental sustainability for the 21st century. In addition to being an accomplished administrator, Dr. Tatum is widely recognized as a scholar, teacher, race relations expert, and leader in higher education. A clinical psychologist by training, her areas of research include racial identity development and the role of race in the classroom. She's been the recipient of numerous honorary degrees. In 2005, Dr. Tatum was awarded the prestigious Brock International Prize in Education for her innovative leadership in the field. Her best-selling titles include Can We Talk About Race and Other Conversations in the Era of School Resegregation in 2007, Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria and Other Conversations About Race in 1997. She is also the author of Assimilation Blues, Black Families in the White Community in 1987. She holds a BA degree in psychology from Wesleyan University, an MA and PhD in clinical psychology from the University of Michigan. She also holds a MA in religious studies from Hartford Seminary. She has served as a faculty member at the University of California, Santa Barbara, Westfield State College, and Mount Holyoke College, where she also served as dean and acting president. Dr. Tatum, President Tatum, is married to Dr. Travis Tatum, a retired college professor, and they are the parents of 2 adult sons. For those of you who also don't know, Dr. Tatum is also part of our acting national board member and also sits on our National Diversity Committee. So personally, I can speak to Dr. Tatum's. I remember actually growing up, being in college and quoting things from Dr. Tatum's book as if like I had personally, profoundly had thought of those things myself. I remember sitting in the cafeteria, sitting in many lecture halls with friends and peers of mine and grappling with some of the topics that she mentioned. I remember when some of her books were coming out, actually having book clubs where people were running out to like, let's get the book and let's actually talk about it. I remember being on Institute staff for several years and hearing different core members, some of our staff, repeating things that they had heard from her book in terms of ways that we could actually really move our work in this movement. And so for years, I remember literally talking about this Dr. Tatum, who I'd never seen, and had an opportunity to actually join a diversity committee coming back to Teach for America, and just being so inspired and feeling so revived, getting some great advice to how we can actually move our DCA curriculum and some of our design forward. And so I feel honored and privileged to actually even be standing in the same room as her. And so with that, I wanted to just personally introduce Dr. Tatum.
Thank you very much, Susan. I have to say it is, I was sitting there feeling kind of old. Listening to you talk about having read the book and talked about it in college, and it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but really, Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria and Other Conversations About Race was published originally in 1997. And I was talking to my literary agent about the fact that maybe we would do a 20th anniversary update in 2017. And that just, on the one hand, it sounds like far away. On the other hand, it's like, wow, 20 years ago practically. And those of you who've read the book, all those stories about my children, they're 24 and 28 now. So that just tells you that a lot of time has passed. But it also tells me that the fact that people still read the book and find it useful suggests that race is still an important issue in our society. And certainly you know that, working in the schools that you do, that race and class play a role in access to quality education, and Teach for America is all about trying to change that. So I am delighted to have this opportunity to be with all of you, certainly pleased to serve on the board of Teach for America, and glad to have this opportunity to have a conversation. And in fact, that is what I hope we will be doing, is having a conversation. I am going to use a handheld mic, which is right over there, and I was asked originally to talk a little bit about my own educational journey, my own leadership journey, which I will say a few words about. But I am aware that there's a reason why my books are titled the way they are. Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria and Other Conversations About Race? Most recently, Can We Talk About Race and Other Conversations in an Era of School Desegregation? Those are long titles, but the key word in both of them is actually not race, but conversations. That really the dialogue is what I am most interested in. I am told that many of you have read some or perhaps even all of Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together? And so I'm just curious, how many of you would say, yes, I have read some or perhaps even all? And it looks just about unanimous. Maybe I've missed somebody. But I'm hoping that if that has stimulated questions, or if there are issues related to issues of race, in particular race and class, more specifically race and ethnicity, that you would like to talk about during our time together, I would be certainly open to that. And I'm going to frame my remarks in such a way that we might go straight into that dialogue pretty quickly. So let me begin by just saying